For nearly 60 years, the cast of Star Trek smiled for cameras, signed autographs, and answered fan questions like one big happy crew. But behind the convention stages and reunion photos, they carried a secret. Many of them deeply resented their captain. William Shatner's behavior on set, from grabbing lines to dominating scenes, left scars that never fully healed. Actors walked off, scripts were quietly changed, friendships were damaged. In 2025, at 94 years old, Shatner finally addressed it all in a documentary that stunned Hollywood. For the first time, he openly admitted what he'd done and how badly he'd hurt the people who helped make him a legend. His story began far from Hollywood. William Shatner was born March 27, 1931, in a Jewish family in Montreal. His father, Joseph, was an Austrian-Hungarian immigrant who built a clothing business strong enough to survive the Depression. His mother, Anne, an elocution teacher, saw something in her son early. By 8, she had him in children's acting classes. By 10, he was playing Puck in A Midsummer Night's Dream, drilling Shakespeare at the kitchen table until his delivery was perfect. He grew up bilingual, competing in speech contests at Westmount High and performing on CBC radio dramas as a boy. While other kids played outside, he was standing on boxes in front of a microphone, learning how to control his voice and hold an invisible audience. Shatner studied commerce at McGill, but every spare moment went into theater. Summer stock, tiny stages, cheap rooms, endless rehearsals. It all led to work with the Stratford Shakespeare Festival and, eventually, Broadway. His first New York break, Tamburlaine the Great, closed after just 12 days. But the world of Susie Wong turned him into a star, with more than 500 performances and rave reviews. Film and TV followed, serious dramas like Judgment at Nuremberg, cult favorites like his Twilight Zone episode Nightmare at 20,000 Feet, and a stream of guest roles that made his face familiar long before he ever sat in the captain's chair. Then, in 1966, Star Trek changed everything. As Captain James T. Kirk, Shatner became the center of the show. And that was exactly the problem. Castmates later described how he pushed for more lines, more close-ups, more command moments. Nichelle Nichols saw early scripts where Uhura had substantial dialogue, only to discover on set that key lines had been reassigned to Kirk. George Takei remembered a pivotal command scene for Sulu being cut down after Shatner objected. James Doohan once got so frustrated during rehearsals that he walked off the set entirely. Even off camera, ego got in the way. Leonard Nimoy's solo magazine cover was blocked until Shatner forced his way into the layout. Pranks, like hiding Nimoy's bicycle on the lot, deepened the sense that their captain didn't see them as equals. The resentment outlasted the series, resurfacing in memoirs, interviews, and decades of chilly distance. Yet Shatner's career kept expanding, directing Star Trek Fe, winning Emmys for Boston Legal, writing Tech War, narrating Rescue 911, even flying to space with Blue Origin at 90. Publicly, he was unstoppable. Privately, many co-stars wanted nothing to do with him. In the 2025 documentary, the mask finally slipped. Shatner admitted that his obsession with being the lead blinded him to how much he was taking from others. He acknowledged specific complaints from cast members and said he had treated Captain Kirk as more important than the people playing the crew around him. "I was driven," he said, "and in that drive, I hurt people I cared about." For fans, it was heartbreaking. For his former castmates, it was the apology they'd waited on for most of a lifetime. Proof that even a man who spent his life playing a fearless captain could eventually face his own failures and say out loud that he was wrong.